Hi everyone, it's Tawney. June is Pride Month, and I wanted to film a little video doing sort of like a makeup look for you all. It's going to be like very rainbow themed and really like testing out my skills on doing makeup, using colorful looks. And I really just wanted to like put this video out there that like I am fully in support of anyone who believes or feels or thinks or loves in any way. I always consider myself, and I always tell people that I'm very like open and accepting. And like, while that's not how I personally go about like relationships and like, that's not who I am. Like, I'm a straight woman. That's pretty much, that's about as basic, I'm about as basic as it can get. I am fully accepting of anyone who believes differently than me, feels differently than me, loves differently than I do, and people who are open about it, people who are not open about it, people who don't even know that that's who they are right now. I kind of just wanted to like share my support and just kind of like just put this video out there. I was trying to wear like a rainbow shirt, but then I realized I have like no rainbow. I love rainbow stuff. I think it's like the cutest thing. Like, I always get excited to see all the stuff in June. And I hate that it's like just narrowed down to 1 month. But like, I love seeing all the rainbow stuff because like, I just love rainbow things. Like, it's just so cute. So I was like, yes, like this. I was like, well, this is about as good as I can get. So I do apologize. It's not as rainbowy as I'd like. Today, I'm going to be using the Glamlight Michaela palette, which on the inside looks like this, which has most of the rainbow, but not every color. So I'm going to be dipping into some other eyeshadow palettes, which are the XX Revolution and Powerpuff Girls Buttercup palette that has some greens in there I'm going to be using. And then as well, the e.l.f. Electric Mood and Tiana Major 9 palette. I'm going to be dipping into all three of these. I just thought that like the e.l.f. palette was really bright. The Michaela palette had a lot of rainbows. Like, it's the rainbow palette that I think of whenever I think of rainbow. And then I knew that this palette had green. So I was like, I know I can definitely get away with that. So we're going to go in. I already primed my eyelids with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. And I can link down in the description box the makeup I'm wearing. I have my full face done except for my eyes. And then I will set my face at the end of it. But I just figured I'd narrow it down to make the video a little bit shorter and just really focus on the eye look, because that's what we're doing today. And I'm hoping to do a cut crease because last year I just did like a rainbow look and I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit this year and do something a little different. So I'm going to be cut creasing my eye to try and, you know, spice things up a little bit. Okay, and I also lied. I'm going to be using the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop because I wanted to use this white in Dreamful to like go over my eyelid primer and like really make my eyes very white so that way all the colors would pop. And I'm just going to go into that pretty heavy-handed to make sure that my eyes are very white before I cover them up with the beautiful colors. Okay, so Dreamful has a little bit of sparkle in it, but I figured it'd be okay. And it doesn't look too sparkly on the eye. I can see a little bit of sparkle fall out under my eyes more so, and that's honestly fine with me. So now that we have that taken care of, I'm going to go into the Electric Mood palette into Central Line. And I'm going to start with that. I don't know. Should I do right side or left side? I think I'm going to do left side, because that's the way it's showing up on camera. So I'm going to go in all the way on the far right, and I'm really just going to pack it down. So then that way, whenever I go to like blend it all in together, you can still like get a crap ton of pigment. And I'm going to do red, orange, yellow, and then green, blue, purple. So then that way I can get every color and I can make them all fit on my eye. There's no way I'm going to do every color on each eye. I'm sorry. That's just like, I mean, I could try, but realistically, is that going to work? I'm not that creative. I'm not as good into makeup as I see other people do on YouTube and would like to think I am. This looks like I'm literally just putting a red lipstick on my eye, and I honestly don't even mind it. Okay, now we have that color. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go in with Buffalo Chicken from the Glamlight palette. I've been watching a lot of Michaela videos on, believe it or not, Facebook, because I watch Reels on Instagram and Facebook. I don't watch TikToks, which I know are basically the same thing. And I really should just get TikTok, but I'm like standing my ground that I don't want to get TikTok. So I am watching her over on Facebook, and I'm finding that I really like her technique and like her ability to do makeup and just make it look so effortless. And she's such a nice person, and like the way she talks and everything, she's so easy to like follow, and like I just really, really, really like her. She's becoming like one of my favorite beauty people right now. So that has me like extra excited to get back into makeup and such. So now that I've gone in with that, I'm going to go in with Handy from the Glamlight palette. And I'm going to go, that was a lot of fallout on that one. I'm going to go pretty heavy-handed on this yellow, because yellow tends to be the color that like doesn't show up. And it's like really hard to see. That is a really good yellow. I feel like I used this palette last year when I did this, but I'm not positive. I know a lot of people have talked about liking the James Charles Morphe palette, and I had it. I bought it whenever it came out because I wasn't a sister, but I like watched James Charles a good bit. I'm gonna add more red now, and I followed his videos a lot, and at that time I was like heavy being a fan, and I think that that's one of those things that's like YouTubers know what they're doing, because they like know how to keep you reeled in so that whenever they're about to like sell a product, they have you like right where they want you to. Now I'm going back with buffalo chicken. They are able to like really convince you to like get the product because you like trust that person and you're like really invested in them. And I bought the palette and I liked it, but I was just kind of like, I wasn't sure that I actually really did like it, to be honest with you. So then I ended up, whenever all the crap with James Charles went down, with Tati, with I think it was James Charles, Tati, and maybe Shane Dawson. I think when all of that stuff went down, because I think that was after I think that was after all the Dramageddons and stuff. I'm not totally sure. So now I'm going to go in with this green on the inner corner of this eye here from the Powerpuff Girl palette. And I just kind of got such a yucky feeling about him from all of that, because like I said, I'm a big Tati fan. Like I think Tati's like my number one of anybody, and she's been that way for years. Like I've always loved Tati like more than anyone, just because I feel like she like really knows her stuff, and like her editing is so good, and she's just like, she has her crap together, and I feel like that's what I want in a YouTuber, even though I don't have my crap together, so that's clearly like not helping me out too much. But I sold the palette on Poshmark, and then I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have sold the palette. Maybe I should have kept it because it was like a rainbow palette. And then I started watching, I can't remember her name here on YouTube, something Mazzucato. I started watching her, and she's no longer on YouTube. Now I'm going to use Masshole. It's a dark blue in the Glamlight palette. And I started following her, and she talked about how it was her favorite rainbow palette. It was before the Glamlight palette came out, and whether or not she would have picked it up or not, I don't know. But she said that that was her favorite rainbow palette, and I was like, well, crap, I just sold mine. Like, what am I going to do about a rainbow palette now? Because like, I love her eye looks. I think hers are the most unique and stunning and pretty, and like, I think she has the most talent. And I think Michaela has a lot too, but like, because Julia, or whatever her name is, she always was like so talented at doing her makeup, and it just seemed like it came so effortless to her. And she said that that was her favorite rainbow palette. And then I was like, well, then I was at TJ Maxx today, and I've heard that they've had a lot of Morphe palettes there. So I was like, I'm going to go looking, just see what all they have. I got the Madison Beer palette because I've heard really good things. And I know I've been like on a Morphe like no, and I'm like trying not to buy. Now I'm going to go in with part 2 from the Glamlight palette. And I know that I'm like not buying, but I feel like as long as I'm not buying from Morphe themselves, like I'm buying from like a third party, I feel okay about buying the products. So I bought that palette, so I'm gonna be testing that out eventually and just seeing like how I like it and stuff. And be nice to have like another palette in my collection because I love having makeup around. And they had the James Charles palette, and I was like, do I buy it? Like, I don't want to, but like I really wanted some of the rainbow shadows, and like I really wanted like that rainbow palette again. even though I don't really like the Morphe formula and I don't like James Charles and I don't like Morphe, I was like, I'm willing to give it a shot just because, like, I want to, like, try it again. Like, I don't know. I just want to have, like, the rainbow, like, colors. That's basically all it was. And I really like this Glam Light palette, but I find that I don't really like the formula. Like, all of these shadows are very, 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 they kick up a lot. Like, I can show you because I haven't dusted off. Look at the purple there. Look at how much came off on that. Like, all the colors I've used, you can see a lot of fallout. And, like, it just kicks back so much. And, like, this e.l.f. one does, but not nearly as bad. And then I didn't really have any from the Powerpuff Girl palette. So I'm going to try and, like, wipe this off on my tissue. I use tissues, in case you didn't know. I was going to wipe this off so that way it's, like, a pretty clear, there's not a whole lot of pigment on this brush. And I'm going to go back in and just kind of blend. And I think I'm going to try and blend from the inside out. So then that way the lightest shade blends into the darkest shade. So I'm not ruining my yellow and my greens by mixing, like, deeper colors into it. And I'm just going to start on this side. And okay, that is like washing away the color. Do you see that? What? Okay, I guess I'm going to blend gently, I guess, because these are very, like, fragile shadows. I guess, like, I feel like I'm, like, blending this away. Do you guys see this? Like, I've only used this Glam Light palette. This is the only palette I have from Glam Light. But I've always wanted to try them, but the price was just, like, the hardest part for me. I guess it doesn't matter what I do on the lid because I'm going to cut crease it and get rid of it. But that kind of blended in nicely, except for the fact that this, like, kind of blended, like, the blue especially blended away. Like, I don't know. It's not doing it for me like I wanted it to. But I feel like it blends weird and it's not really, like, encouraging me to like the Glam Light, like, formula. I'm going to go back in with this green and just touch up a little bit. And I feel like even if this is just a little bit heavy, at least it'll still be pigmented because I want to be able to see these colors. So I might just have to cut crease and then, like, re-add it in but not blend. I feel like that's what I might have to do. So I'm going to tap off the brush and go back in on this side, and I hope this will work. But I feel like the Glam Light formula is just not, like, what I wanted. This blended out a little bit better, but still not great. Like, I can't really see the orange a whole lot. So I guess I'm going to have to go back in with the orange and, like, touch that up a little bit. So, like, it's kind of disappointing. And, like, I was thinking about using this palette at all today because I was like, well, what if it doesn't show up? But then I'm thinking, what other rainbow colors do you have? Like, I'd be going into, like, every palette I have to try and make it work. And I was like, that's just too much effort. And I don't have the energy and I don't want to do all of that. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to deal with it and fight through, and kind of regretting it, but it's all right. Like, I'll make it work. So I'm going to use the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and I'm going to use that to cut my crease. I'm just going to brush a bunch off on the back of my hand and then go in with the AOA Studio E123 brush. It looks like this. It has a really nice flat part to it. And I'm going to blend the crap out of this crease because I feel like the color is going to take a long time to blend out. So I'm going to tap this down, and I'm not going to, like, lift my lid because I have the eyelid where, like, if you look up, you, like, half my eye is gone, basically. I forget what the word is for it. I'll think of it right after I get done filming this. But I have that problem, so I am not going to lift my lid, so then that way I don't mess up this crease. But that is why I decided to do my makeup so high up, is so then that way you can actually see it, because once I do this cut crease, it's just gonna, like, evaporate, basically. So that's covering pretty nicely. I think this is turning out okay. Just gonna try and blend this all in and get it to dry a good bit. I think this is looking really good. And then I want to take it out here and kind of cut it off like this. This is actually turning out really good. I'm surprised. You know, sometimes I do my makeup and it turns out like total crap and I'm like expecting it. But other times I expect it to be total crap and it's not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, progress. Your girl's like actually doing something with her look. Like, she's figuring it out. I know they say to do your eyes before your face. I don't actually, like, aside from a little bit of this purple here, I don't mind the fallout because it actually looks like it's like intentionally meant to be further down on my eyes. So I really don't mind that. And I'm one that I always do my base first. Sometimes I go as far as like your foundation, concealer, powder, and then I stop and do my eyes, and then I go back to do bronzer, blush, and highlighter. But today I went in with my full face and then did my eyes because I just figured then that way I would take away some of the like hassle of doing the video, and that way you guys can just focus on the fact that I'm like doing my eye makeup. So I'm going to try and really remember to not open my eyes, to keep them kind of like lifted, so that way I can cut the crease without cutting too much of the upper eye off, because I don't want to take too much of the stuff right in through here off with the concealer. That is a not pro. It is an amateur tip from your girl over here for anyone with hooded eyes. That's what it's called. With hooded eyes. Okay. This is turning out really good so far. Gonna have to go back in with the concealer a little bit because I'm running a little low, and that should be enough. I'm really liking the way this is turning out so far. I'm like really excited. I need to do this stuff more often. We need to have more months in support of people, and I need to do more makeup looks to support those people, because activism and advocacy is like the most important thing you can do as a person who is full abled, can talk, can communicate, can share their story, can get their story out there in any way possible. It's like the most important thing we can do. And I say that as a social worker because everyone needs to have their voices heard. And it is like just so important. Okay, I think that actually looks really good, and I'm not gonna like reblend or anything. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in, I have a shade, I believe in the Michaela palette. Let me see. No, there is one. Okay, it's in the Buttercup palette. I'm gonna go in with this white shade because I know that whenever I tested these palettes out, I can put that video in the eye and in the description box for you all. I really like this white shade, and I think it'll look really nice and like pop in with my cut crease look. And then we will do our final look with the mascara complete. I'm super, super, super excited about this, and I really like the way it turned out. Hope you guys do too. All right, so this is the finished look. I really hope you guys like this video, and I really hope you guys like this look. I think it's something different, and I think every year whenever I do a Pride video, I'm gonna try and switch it up and try to do something a little bit more difficult. Maybe add some liner, maybe add some glitter. I just really like the thought of like really pushing myself, and also incorporating all these fun ideas that revolve around like life things that are happening in the world. And I think it's really important to talk about these things, whether you are gay, whether you're lesbian, whether you have any kind of other belief, or if you're straight like I am, because it's important to share people's stories and have everyone know that it's okay to be who you are and to be who you want to be, because like we're all humans and we're allowed to believe what we want to believe. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the description box for a bunch of links I'm going to put down on help if you need help transitioning, if you need help speaking out on being gay, if you want to support people who are gay or lesbian or any of that type of, or who believe that way. I don't know what the LGBTQ plus, I don't know what that means, right? Like, I don't know all of the letters, and I don't want to forget anybody, so I'm just going to say everyone in that realm who you know, who believes in anything, who loves anyone or who doesn't love anyone. You know, I'm just like, everyone's involved in that. Don't forget to check those out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.